Good evening, Saints fans, and welcome to another edition of Sports Talk with Rags here in Season 3, Episode 89. And this evening we are joined here by the head volleyball coach of NSA Volleyball, Karen Rose. Karen, how you doing this evening?
I'm doing fabulous. Thank you for having me.
Sure, no problem. Appreciate your time, and let's see. Let's start at the beginning. What got your interest here with the game of volleyball?
So I have two older brothers. One's 9 years older, the other one's 6 years older. And so, being the little sister, I was drugged to all the sports. And my parents didn't want my brothers, even though they were both 6'4", playing football. And
Right,
so, really, the only other option up there was volleyball. And they started playing, and they loved it. And I had fun watching. I
right,
loved being the ball girl. And once I got to sixth grade, we had a fabulous gym teacher. He was actually the boys' varsity volleyball coach, and he was in the prime position to kind of see who was pretty athletic and who might be good at which sport. And he would suggest, hey, why don't you try this sport or that sport? And he happened to suggest maybe I should try that, and here I am. I loved
all
it. So.
right. Well, that's good, and I know that. Let's see. You said that this is your second year being the head coach of varsity volleyball at Nanson Suffolk.
Yes, sir. Yep.
Yeah, yeah. So let's see. Have you only been, and then you were coaching the JJV team. So have you only been coaching at NSA, or have you had other previous volleyball experience?
So I graduated from the Naval Academy in 2000, and for a few months I was stationed up in Newport, Rhode Island, and they were looking for a coach for their NAPS team. And so I decided with one of my really good friends to coach that team, and I had a really good time and a lot of fun kids on the team.
Right.
And so once I got out of the Navy, Catholic high school had an opening for the JV position.
Mm.
And so I talked about it with my husband and decided that I wanted to try that. And I was there for 2 years and then moved up to the varsity coach. We weren't very good, but after about 5 years there, I decided I was going to go back to school to be a dental hygienist. And so I quit coaching, and the opportunity arose here to coach the JJV team because their coach was headed to Smithfield High School to coach their volleyball team. And so I asked my boss if he would mind if I took some afternoons off, and he
Right.
agreed, and here I am. So
All
it's been a lot
right.
of fun.
Yes. Well, I've seen there with Max Preps, there that the varsity program. I know that there was the pandemic there in 2020, but I know that Nance with Suffolk volleyball here in recent years has had great seasons, but what a season for the team this year.
It's been amazing. So Robin Ross was the head coach prior to me, and she left and headed down to Texas, but
Mm.
she created a fabulous legacy. The girls, it was an honor. She was a great mentor. Everyone wanted to play for her. And so she, kind of paved the way for me, having that drive and that desire to win. They'd always been a really great team with some really great players. So it was fairly easy to step into her shoes and kind of ride her coattails. So I thank Robin for that, for establishing such a good dominance in
Yeah,
friends.
yes. Now with coaching there at Nancy Suffolk, I know that they're part of the TCIS, but but do you go out and schedule your own non-conference matches? Because you definitely have to, play the TCIS schedule. But how does scheduling go there for? A varsity volleyball program.
So a lot of that is left up to Brittany and TW.
Oh,
I know Robin wanted them to get as many touches with the volleyball as they possibly could.
right.
I have 3 children, and so the one plays tennis, my daughter, and I didn't want it to interfere too much. None of my children play volleyball.
Oh.
I choose to play volleyball because I love it so much.
Mhm.
And so our schedule hasn't been quite as heavy the last 2 years as when Robin had it, just so that I would have the opportunity to, see my kids play their sports. Both of my boys play hockey on the weekends, and so I didn't want to do too many tournaments over the weekends. Just have some good family time.
Right. Yes, and it's just I did see where the in the Suffolk News Herald, that they shared, who made the postseason team, and I see that a lot of NSA representation there between the first and the second team.
Yes, the girls were absolutely amazing this year. They worked really hard and were dedicated. And I think after last season, you know, coming off of being the state champions in 21, had high hopes for 2022, and it just didn't happen. And they came back, I think, and worked hard over the summer and really decided that they were going to be all in. And so I'm really proud of all of them. They did great.
Right. Yes, I see that. I see that this year is 2021 and 4. And you guys won the states, and then how was it playing the conference schedule there in the TCIS?
It was great. We had played Norfolk Collegiate for our conference match right beforehand, and the same thing with Peninsula Catholic. And so going into the conference championship, we ended up playing Norfolk Collegiate as our first round, and then PC in the finals. And so it was good to have just seen them at the end of the season rather than the beginning of the season. So we knew what to expect, but they were, great games. I couldn't have asked for a better, finals match, 5 games all the way down to the end. So it was really exciting. Maybe a little bit more excitement than I really wanted, but the girls, they dug in and just they all played together when they needed to, and we pulled it off. So I was just really, really proud of them. There's so many times that they could have just given up and quit, and we could have lost. So they had a lot of heart this season. I loved it. A lot of grit.
Yes, and with looking here on Max Preps, I mean, definitely in the first 5 matches, the team was 1-4, but boy, you talk about a lot of grit and that they wanted to bounce back from what happened a year ago, but looking there at Max Preps with get ready for this episode, the girls didn't lose another match.
No, and I do want to say we scrimmaged Great Bridge in the beginning of this season, and Kyra Bradford, my starting, she was my outside hitter at that point, but she ended up getting a concussion during the scrimmage, and so she missed the first 2 weeks of the season, and she missed that tournament. And I do think we did pretty well. If you look at the scores of those matches that we lost, they were all within 5 points. So it's, I think we did pretty well without her, but she definitely is a huge impact player, and she made a big difference. So it was good to have her back. We played collegiate and we, lost in 3, but those were also, again, really close matches. We didn't really get blown out by anybody. So that made us feel pretty good, and I think gave us a little bit of confidence that we didn't walk into the gym and lose a game like 25-6 like we had the year before. So that was good.
Yeah, yes, and I see that playing the Covenant there for the state championship, and you guys winning 3-1 in sets. I mean, so what a way here to cap off the season. But I see that the semifinal game was a pretty close match, going down to 5 sets.
Yes, something about Peninsula Catholic and us wanting to play 5 sets with them. I'd rather we hadn't, but I feel like people definitely got their money's worth. And they were a great competitor. And just, luck fell our way that night. I feel like it really could have gone either way. Obviously I believe in my girls, but again, they just, at any one of those moments, it could have taken a turn for the worse. And they all just really wanted to play for each other. And that was their motto this year, was for each other. And none of them wanted to let the other one down. So I think that really showed in those tough matches where it was really close. So again, really, really proud of all of them.
All right. Yes, and even though you guys played Peninsula Catholic, here in the state tournament, isn't VIS AA once the postseason comes, then it goes to what division you guys are in. So even though Peninsula Catholic, you guys are in the same conference, you guys are in the same division for the state tournament. The reason why you guys met up there in the state postseason, right?
Yeah. Yes, correct. They're also in Division Two, and just the way that the rankings fell, that's who we played. It was kind of funny, but
Right, right. Yes, and so what? Let's see. I didn't realize so many stats there in volleyball, because I just know the three phrases, bump, set, spike,
right.
but definitely with outside hitter and an assist and everything, there's definitely a lot more stats that go with each position, right?
Yes, yes. So the big ones that we focus on, and we talk a lot about like the unstatable stats. It's great to get a kill, but maybe someone made an amazing dig or ran halfway across the gym and made an amazing play that they don't necessarily get credit for. You don't get like a check mark in the dig column, but they got the ball up so that you could get that kill. So we really wanted to focus on that too. And I had 12 players this year, and I always told them every single one of them is help make the team who they were. And so even if they didn't get to play every single game or a lot of the games, having them on the bench and cheering and just knowing that I had someone to put in if I needed to, really made a big difference. And so really the only one that we focused on a lot in practice was aces and errors, service errors. And so they would have to run for however many serves we missed. So we tried not to miss too many. And I've got some girls with some amazing serves. So I feel like our aces was pretty high. Not just one person, down the board, they all have a really great serve. So we focus a lot on that in practice too. So it was good to see those stats reflect how much hard work that they've put in.
Right. Yes, and now that the season's over, I mean, what pretty much now, they go to basketball, or if they stick to volleyball, they go to their travel teams, because school volleyball won't pick back up till what, the end of the summer next school year, right?
Yeah, sometimes we have some open gyms. We started doing that this season, just for about an hour. But a lot of them do play travel ball, which I love, playing year round. And then, the softball team, we've got a couple softball players, so they've played softball through the whole volleyball season too. So they're definitely dedicated to their sport, which I love. And I'm happy that I get them for a short time for volleyball. They definitely
Right.
make a difference. So, but yeah, everyone I feel like plays on some sort of travel team if they're not doing softball. So they're definitely dedicated.
Right. And 12 varsity, and then there's a middle school team. Is there a JV team as well, or?
So yeah, so we call it junior varsity. It's the sixth, seventh, and eighth graders, and we always have a huge turnout. I think in the 4 years that I coached, I didn't have less than 27 girls.
Oh,
And so we typically break it up into two teams, blue and gold, and it really just depends on skill level. But a lot of times, blue is the more experienced team. Usually the seventh and eighth graders. Sometimes there's a really good sixth grader on there. and they each have their own schedules, and it's a lot of fun. It's, that they don't get quite as much playing time because there's so many girls, but
Right.
it's a great way to introduce them to the sport. And I've always had a lot of fun watching them and watching those light bulb moments when they, get the correct platform when they're passing, or they finally get to swing, or they get their ball over the net without underhanding, or even underhand serve. It's always really fun to celebrate those little small moments.
Right.
So
Yeah, and then also with the NCAA, volleyball tournament being on TV. I mean, volleyball. I mean, it's definitely a great a great sport, and now with speeding up the match. I mean, it's definitely quick, not as long as back in the day
when
where
I was
don't
growing up, yeah.
right. Yes. Yeah. So
It was
you know
amazing. I was watching them the other night, and I think it was Wisconsin. Um, they showed a picture of five of their players, and they're all so tall that when they're standing at the net, not even jumping yet, they all have their arms about this high over. And so when they jump, it was amazing. One of the girls is 6'9".
mm,
I mean, I don't know where you find a girl that tall, but I feel like if you're 5'7", 5'8" nowadays, you're really, really short. So it's interesting to see how that comes around, and the height, because our team definitely, we did not have a lot of height this year, and so I just had some really great jumpers, which is awesome. So we made up for it.
right. And then what's the position that like the one player, on your team wears a different colored shirt than the rest of the players? What's that position called?
Well, there's two ways to say it. I call it the libero, but you can also hear it the libero.
Okay.
And so she's a defensive specialist, and she's also in there to make the game more exciting, and so that you don't have to use as many substitutions.
Oh,
Um, so sometimes you can run out of subs if the game's really intense.
right. Yeah, yeah, and with 12 girls and playing a 5 set match. I mean, what definitely nice to have some bench here with a couple of these matches, and especially against Peninsula Catholic, but it was on the NSA right side. But I saw that whenever you played Peninsula Catholic, especially here in the postseason, it went the distance.
Yes, it sure did.
Yeah, and I mean, I appreciate your time for sharing, the team's accomplishments, but even for the state championship, definitely nice to see not only you guys win, but also another private school from our area, Stonebridge. So here's two private schools not too far from each other that won states there on the same court.
Yeah, so I'm not sure exactly what the story is, but we were scheduled to play them at the beginning of the season, and it was canceled. And I've got some of the girls that actually play for their travel club. And so I know they were really looking forward to that. And I hope someday we get to play them. And my assistant coach, Mariah Brinkley, actually played at Stonebridge.
No,
So we have a small connection there.
right,
And her sister's actually on the team. So we were always cheering for Stonebridge for her. And so they played right before us. So we were able to watch their match. And yeah, they're amazing. So
right,
it would have been a good matchup.
right. Well, yeah, maybe next year, non conference
Right, right. We'll
match.
see.
Yeah, right. But so have you guys had your end of the year banquet here with celebrating the team's accomplishments, or here at the end of the season?
Yeah, so last weekend on Sunday we had our fall sports banquet, but they're in the process of designing their state championship rings this week, hopefully. So I think when they get them in, we'll probably have another little celebration.
Oh,
So we found out at that banquet actually that this team is one of only 8 teams that have won this conference title and the state title in the school's history. So I thought that was kind of cool, and we're only the second volleyball team to do it. So
oh well, that's good.
that was neat to know. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, it's good that I mean, I know that outside of football, just about every other sport, if you make it to your conference tournament final, then it's the champ and the runner up that moves on to states, but definitely some bragging rights here on this year's team with with not only winning the states but also their other accomplishments, being the first one in the school's history.
Yeah, it was definitely neat. I think 2013 was the last time that they won both, and we'd come into the gym every day, and you look up at that banner and
Yeah.
hope that 2023 would be the year that's also added. And so it was really kind of neat when we went in there for the banquet. They already had the 2023 up there for us, so that was really cool to see that they'd kind of expedited that and put that up there for us. So we appreciated that.
Right. Yes. Yes. And any of the seniors from this year being able to play at the next level?
So I only have one senior.
Oh.
She's my middle hitter,
Right.
and she's still undecided, but I definitely think she has the ability and the talent to play at the next level. So I hope she does. I hope she decides where she wants to go, and I know she's talking to a couple different places. So it'll be exciting to hear once she makes that decision. And then, she's amazing. Again, the word that I choose to use to describe her is impactful. And anytime she touched the ball, she can jump, and her hang time was incredible.
Wow.
And it just really riled the whole team up when she got a kill. So she'll be fun to watch in the next stage
Oh,
for
cool.
sure. Yeah.
So, but all right, Karen. Well, hey, thanks for your time, and any other final tidbits here to share there about NSA volleyball.
I'm just excited for next season. Only losing one player, and again, I can't stress enough how many fabulous players I have on the bench. Unfortunately, I can only have 6 out there at one time, and I know it's frustrating, but I know that they'll be hungry next year to get their chance. And that as a coach, it's just great to know the depth that you have. So I'm just excited, and I'm sure they're excited to come back and defend what
Yeah.
they did this year. And so it'll be exciting. So I just
Yeah.
thank you so much for having me, and I appreciate it. And
Oh, sure, sure, no problem. Appreciate your time, and glad that glad that you could come on and talk more about this past season, and look forward to not to put any pressure
yeah,
on the
please don't.
girls, but look forward to seeing what they do there in 2024. So thanks again for your
Well,
time.
thank you. I'm glad you'll be following us.
All right, all right.
Appreciate it. All right, have
Thanks,
a good night.
Vince. All right. Good night. And that
Good
was Karen Rose here, head volleyball coach at NSA and the 2023 D2 state champs.